we have a video here inside of CaptionHub that we've uploaded. There's a few different ways to get video into CaptionHub. And you can do this in a very sort of manual way. You can drop video from your local storage, from your desktop, straight into CaptionHub. You can do this with a single file, with multiple files. You can run a live stream through. You can connect to one of our existing video platform integrations. So if you're using JW Player or Vimeo, YouTube, and you have your video sitting on a repository like that, then you can pull that video in, again, manually, or you can have it based on tags, pull that video in to then be ingested. And I'll talk about automation briefly just now before we set those projects running. One of the things that you can do here to really get the most out of CaptionHub and also our relationship with Lilt is set these automations up. So all of the legwork that's involved in ingesting the video, making sure that it's transcribed, the things that I'm about to show you, all of that can be really, really automated. So really you're getting to the point where your video is ready, it's transcribed, you have those initial subtitles, we've included some custom dictionaries, and then it's ready to go over to Lilt for some advanced translation using their contextual AI. So we can set up an automation that looks like this, really, really simple. This took me 30 seconds to create. And if you're a customer of ours, we take you through this process, we'd run you through the implications of what this would, the impact this would have. We'd help you set up these automations, and then these could just run seamlessly in the background. So really, very, very scalable, very efficient workflows that you can deploy with this. And this is not just for, automating a huge amount of video throughput, although it very much can handle that. Recently for Masterclass, we were able to set up an automation on a Friday afternoon. They imported 10,000 videos, and then they were able to translate that into 25 different languages, creating 250,000 minutes of subtitles overnight. And so that level of automation, it can completely cope with. But equally, let's say that every few days you're uploading a video for social media, and we're seeing a huge influx of that on both sides of Lilt and CaptionHub, then what you can do is set these up so that each time you're uploading a video into the UI, CaptionHub will obey these rules, basically run all of the processes of transcription, uploading a custom dictionary, creating your initial translations. Those can be blank translations, and then those can be absorbed and connected through into Lilt for that translation. So there's a huge number of different ways that you can use automation with CaptionHub. So I'm going to pause on the automation and run back into our projects. What we have here is a video that I've pre-uploaded just to save a little bit of time on today's webinar. And what I'm going to do here is create what we call original captions. These are captions in the language that the video is spoken, really straightforward. In this case, we have an English video spoken by a Brit, so I'm going to select English UK. I can select how the captions appear on screen at this point. But what I'm just going to do now is just hit submit. And so what we're doing here is taking the video, separating the audio out, running that through a speech recognition process, and using an advanced speech recognition engine, creating that text file, that transcription, and then bringing it back to the video, timing it back to it precisely. Now, some of the processes that we run when we upload that video initially are to, we do a scene analysis, a scene break analysis, we do a frame rate analysis. So we're doing some pretty intensive processing on the video upload so that when we get to this point, we've got really precisely timed and accurate captions. So I'll just play this.
My name is Will Butler-Adams, and I am CEO of Brompton Bicycle.
So we're going to create some translations here. Let's say that we've done a QC on our transcription. We're really happy with that. We uploaded a custom dictionary. So the AI is really biased to your language set, to your domain, whether that's financial services or pharmaceutical, whatever it happens to be. You've got that very custom set of language around product names. We've biased the AI towards that. So we've got very accurate transcription. And now we need to move into the translation stage. So what we're going to do here is just create our French and German translations. What I could do here is actually say we've got many more languages that we want to translate into, but I've just got those defaulted to the languages that I need translating into on a regular basis. So I'm making that easy for myself. So we'll create those, and then at this point, what we can then do is assign those over to Lilt. So we can say, right? I'm happy for that to go to Lilt, and the same with the German, and I can do this in mass as well. And if I needed to do this fully programmatically using the API, again, that's something that we could do. So at this point, what we've done essentially is pushed over a blank set of French subtitles with the right timing based on the English timing. We've sent that through to Lilt. So now Lilt can take control of that and run all of their processes, either machine-based and AI-based or human-in-the-loop-based, or a combination of those. So I think we've got Jonathan from Lilt on the line. And what I'm going to do is allow Jonathan to share his screen now and take control of this and show you what this looks from the Lilt side.
For the next few minutes, I'm going to just jump on the Lilt platform itself so that you see what the translation workflow looks like. So as soon as you assign a job on CaptionHub, our integration will automatically pull the content on the Lilt platform, and a project will be automatically created. And so at this point, linguists would perform the translation workflow on our platform with the help of the contextual AI engine. So I'm just going to jump in the file I've just pulled. So the first thing to note is that Lilt recombines sentences in order to provide a better machine translation suggestion. So as you know, in subtitling, sentences are spread over multiple lines and multiple captions. So for example, there it's one sentence, but if you go in the subtitles, it's actually spread over 2 captions and 3 lines. So our system recombines full sentences so that the suggestion is more accurate, because this segmentation usually prevents empty engines from generating quality outputs. So this is the way to solve that problem. And of course, when the content is pushed back to CaptionHub, the structure of captions and the line breaks will be fully retained. So that's the first thing to note. So the second aspect that is specific to Lilt is the predictive nature of the machine translation system. So essentially, the translation suggestion that appears under the segment updates itself on the fly according to what the linguist has previously typed. So for instance, there, if I'm not happy with the initial suggestion, I can start typing something else. And as soon as I press space, it updates the suggestion under it according to the grammar and also according to what I've just typed. If I'm not happy with the suggestion, I can stop typing something, and as soon as I press space, it would update completely the rest of the suggestion. So this is really different from the usual machine translation post-editing workflow where the linguist simply adapts a static machine translation output. Because in that scenario, there's no real interaction between the linguist and the MT system. But with Lilt, this is much more of a cooperative task between the linguist and the contextual AI. And then the result is higher productivity, basically.
Yeah, and I want to double tap on that really quickly and make sure that the context of that really resonates with everyone, because this is a very notable difference in how the technology that Lilt uses versus some of the older technology in the industry. So this is what makes the contextual AI versus just a empty translation from the past, is because the predictions are changing as the linguist is interacting with the translation. That's really where the speed comes in for the linguist. So not only is what we just saw Jonathan demonstrate, is the translation changing in real time based on a word that's being modified, it's learning that, which is what makes it AI, and changing the future predictions in all of the following segments. So 2 things are happening here. One is the productivity of the linguist is really increasing. And so the turnaround times can be a lot faster, which we know is really critical in producing video content that's relevant in this space. And the second thing that's happening is all of these changes are simultaneously training our large language models. And so there was a question asked about, you know, how does the quality of the large language models change? And every translation that gets powered through Lilt, through our verified workflow, actually trains your large language model. And so one of the largest benefits that you get in working with CaptionHub and Lilt together is the more work that you do is we can actually show you how the accuracy of your large language models are are improving, which then means you can use more of more content through our instant workflow because the language model has actually gotten better with every single translation that you've put through. And the last piece of this is as every change is being modified, these are word prediction accuracy scores that Lilt is recording. So for those of you that are asking, how do we know what the quality of the Japanese large language model is, or the French large language model, we can actually get scores and say, well, our linguists are only editing about 15% of the words. So we know that the accuracy of the large language model is about 85%. So all of that is data that you can then use to inform which languages are we wanting to use with an AI translation and which languages do we want to keep with an instant.
Once the content has made it back to CaptionHub, you'll see that, so first you would have tags in the project to indicate that the content has been delivered in the CaptionHub project. And then you get the progress of each language. And then when you go into the editor, you would see that it has automatically populated the translation where it belongs, and it has split the captions in the right way.